Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Jennifer Ben Brahim. Coming up. A fierce and fiery call to arms against an ever-darkening world. French musician and former Savages frontwoman Jehnny Beth is back with her sophomore album, Heartbreaker, You, tinged with new metal and punk sounds, and she joins me in the studio to tell us more. Jenny, welcome.
Hello.
Now, before we delve deeper into this new album, we have to talk about another big music release of the week, and that is from Britain's Ed Sheeran. Now, his 8th album, Play, is the first in his planned 5 symbol-themed records. He says Play is his return to a much bigger pop sound. He's also just announced a tour with a scheduled show in Paris on the 1st of December. Ed spoke to one of our colleagues at France 2 TV channel ahead of the album launch about how it took him a while for people to convince people that he was in fact a serious pop star. Take a listen.
People always made fun of my hair at school. I think you have to have some sort of edge at school, maybe not fit in and not be cool to form a personality, I think. Being weird makes you individual, and it allows you to be childish in your exploration of stuff. I think that most of my music has come from me just trying things and not being scared if people think it's weird.
You think I was born to ruin your life, but you did most of that before I arrived. Some things are broken when you open the box. So stop this, you've come too far, enough is enough. I wish I didn't care this much, but I do. No one knows the half of it what you put me through. And I sometimes wonder, do you live with...
Now, we heard Ed Sheeran mentioning in the soundbite that sometimes being weird is good for being an artist. Do you agree?
I do agree, yeah. I think being an outsider is difficult when you're at school, maybe, I definitely was, felt that way when I was younger for different reasons that I didn't understand then. But I was bullied at school, by gangs of girls. But I think in the end, it's kind of what attracts you to music or to arts in general, because you have, a community waiting for you, a family in a way. You don't really know when you decide to be an artist that it's going to be people that are going to, on the other side, they're going to welcome you. And that's the best feeling when that happens after.
Yeah, music as a form of escapism from sort of troubled moments, I guess. Now, let's talk about your new album, Heartbreaker, You. Now, I believe that you got quite a lot of inspiration for this record from the tour that you were on with rockers, Queens of the Stone Age. How so? Can you tell us more about that experience?
Sure, yeah. We were touring in America. And because of COVID, cancelled my previous tour. I hadn't been in America for a few years. So I was really happy to be back because the audiences there, they're really in love with extreme music. And so I felt an immediate connection with, this audience at festivals with, headliners like Korn or Tool or a band like Turnstile, who's really become massive this year. But at the time they were like a smaller band and a new generation as well of bands, like hardcore bands. And the audiences were giving me equal signs of devil horns and hearts. Oh. And I felt like they understood it straight away. So I wanted to make an album that honored that energy, really.
You definitely feel that energy in the album. It feels a lot more powerful, energetic. It's kind of furious, new metal to it. And I believe that it was, in a way, a chance for you to confront this kind of ever-darkening world, the kind of complicated geopolitical situation that we're all living in.
Yeah, we've had enough, I think.
Yeah, I think we've had enough.
When I write, I don't write with my head, I write with my heart. And so I question myself, how does the world make me feel? How does the music make me feel? And so it turned out that most things make me feel heartbroken and made me want to scream. So the record starts with a scream.
Well, it's a very powerful opening to the album. One of my favourite tracks off the record is High Resolution Sadness. We're going to take a quick look at the video. So that was High Resolution Sadness from Jehnny Beth's latest album. Now, the album comes 5 years after your debut, which was To Love Is To Live. And during that time, you were, of course, keeping busy, but doing another one of your many talents, which is acting. And you starred in films such as Jacques Audiard's Olympiade and the Oscar-winning film that was incredible, Anatomy of a Fall by Justine Triet. I'm interested to know, someone who is both a musician and an actress, how do these two worlds blend? Do they inspire each other, or is it sometimes complicated to have these two passions?
No, I think directors sometimes didn't know about my music activities, you know. I had a punk band, female punk band, Savages, for years. And when I started acting, some of them didn't know I had done that. So they didn't really play on that side of me. Like they more, I remember Justine saying that we had to destylize me in order to make the character of Anatomy of a Fall, which I understand, and I like to change for, that's, you know, the idea about acting. I would love, though, that a director, you know, sees the energy I have on stage and want to create a character that matches that energy. That would be very interesting. I think that would be the next thing I'd love to do.
Would you be interested in playing, for example, a musician in a film? That could be an amazing mix.
I've always said no to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How come?
Well, because I felt that was like, if I'm playing a musician, it's going to be me in real life. Also, I didn't think the musicians they were offering were as good as me.
See, that's a good answer. Now, musician, actress, and TV presenter. Many feathers to your hat. Now, the show is called Echoes, and it's on the European TV channel Arte, and it really gives this platform to rising stars from the alternative music scene. Now, I believe that you said that, especially here in France, there isn't much or enough support for emerging artists. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I had done a radio show before for 2 years with guests, and I wanted to bring it to TV. It was important for me. I had this epiphany when I was with Damon Albarn from Gorillaz on the Graham Norton show in the UK. And we were asked to perform the song and then come to speak at the very last 2 minutes of the show. And I was thinking, even for Damon Albarn, TV is not really making space for musicians to speak. And I know a lot of musicians who have a lot to say about the world. And there's a punk music scene that is my community. And I really wanted to give back. And also, I kind of dreamed of, those 90s TV shows that were so iconic. And even when I grew up, TV was so important in discovering music, you know. And so I'm very proud to host a TV show with live music and mosh pits, you know. And that's quite unique, I think. And everything is centered around the artist. Being an artist myself, I want the artist to feel good, you know. So there's nothing cynical about, doing this for me. It's really trying to showcase artists that are rarely seen on media, especially in France, I'd say. Like there's music that is sort of labeled a bit more harder, then doesn't have as much, representation, I'd say, for me.
Well, yeah, the show is a true celebration of music. Now we're going to move on to some other music news. And another thing to really celebrate is the return of Radiohead. Now, the British band have announced that they're going to be going on tour this autumn. And that's for the first time since 2018. They're going to be doing 20 European shows, starting in Madrid. But very sad news for us in Paris. No dates as of yet. So I think everyone should manifest a date in Paris in the near future. Now, the announcement follows the recent release of Hail to the Thief live recordings. And that's, of course, live versions of our monumental 2003 album. We're going to take a listen to what fans can expect from this upcoming tour. This is the live version of Go to Sleep from a 2003 London show. So that was Radiohead there. Now, Jehnny, you moved to London back in 2006 and you lived there for more than a decade. And during that time, you fronted the UK band, as you were mentioning before, Savages. You collaborated with many British acts such as Idles and Depeche Mode. What is it about the UK music scene that kind of really drew you in, or that you loved, or did you love?
I moved to London when I was 20. Paris didn't feel like musically it was going to be the right city for me. I moved with Johnny Hostile, who's my longtime collaborator, and who I made this new record with. And at the time, it just felt that right, because the music we loved the most was Anglo-Saxon, you know. And London has always been a very interesting music city, still today, I think. And even for like genres that we're not really playing in Paris, like drum and bass, you know, or, you know, we'd see Goldie in a club, you know, and that was really great. You know, you felt like you were at the heart of things, you know.
Okay, well, maybe another future opportunity to live in London. Maybe it'll be another source of inspiration for a future upcoming album. So we've come to the end of the show, and I want to thank my guest today, Jehnny Beth, for coming to speak to us about her new album, You Heartbreaker You, and it's out now. And you can, of course, catch her live. She's playing 2 dates in Paris, and it's on the 13th and 14th of October at the venue that I always say is my favorite, which is La Maroquinerie. Before we go, enough time to tell you about the 4th album from French indie band Feu Chatterton called Labyrinth, and now they're really known for their poetic, melancholic lyrics, but this time they're taking a much more psychedelic direction. We'll leave you with their latest single, Mille Vagues or Thousand Waves. For more arts and culture, you can head to our website. There's more news coming up on France 24 just after this.
Quelques jours à peine, difficile de croire que tu n'es plus là. Un soir de déveine, foutu hasard. Enfin, c'est comme ça. La vie est soudaine, surtout quand elle s'en va.